Hi guys, welcome back to Coughing's Kingdom TCG. I'm not alone this time. Simon's here for once. He decided to show up. Okay. But we're back today if he's actually going to put his hand on the mic and do his job. You haven't been here for that. You haven't not been here for that long. Come on.
What do you mean by hand on the mic?
Your hand on the mouse.
Hand is on the mouse.
And then move it around.
So today we're going to do NAIC, whatever it's called, NAIC tier list because it's this weekend. Do you know it's this weekend?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, because that's when Grimsnow's leaving.
Yeah, so this weekend, NAIC, we've put together like a tier list of like, wow, I would say meta decks, but it was basically decks that I just remembered in the last 10 minutes. So if I've forgotten anything, I'll apologise. And if Lewis has forgotten anything, he doesn't care. I don't think you even know what half of these are, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Sure about that. There's 2 Mewtwo's.
Yeah, I know. I did say that at the beginning of the video.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to go into this so you can see what we're talking about. So we've got our little like tier list like here and stuff. So we're going to go through what we think is like S all the way to D. This is our personal opinion. It doesn't, like, if you don't like it, whatever. But this is our personal opinion on what we like. But not necessarily, we usually do the tier list on what we like, but I think we should be a little bit more realistic with this one of like what's actually quite good. But kind of what we like as well, because we could probably talk about like what we think our favourites are at the end and what we personally think will probably win the whole tournament. But we could do that at the end if you want, yeah. So we're just gonna go in order.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep looking at the other ones. So do I just slide these?
Yeah.
So is this normal Dragapult?
Mm-hmm.
How do we even know it's normal?
Because
because
I don't know.
Yeah. So this is like straight Pult. So boring Dragapult.
So bad.
Where would you put it? Bad. It's great.
Huh?
I'd put it here.
Sorry, what did you say? What did you say about an hour ago? Oh, this deck just gets nerfed and hard countered by Mewtwo.
It does that.
Yeah.
Not just Mewtwo, by everything. Clefairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why the deck's so good.
Yeah, but
So I'd still put it in A tier though, because it beats most decks.
probably decreases its chance of winning.
But we'll get to the other versions in a minute. Right? But still A tier. I think the deck's still really strong. You know, the draw power is really good. Dragapult's attack is good. The fact that you can like unfair stamp and all that stuff's quite good. And play Shaman now as well, which helps it out against like other decks. But everyone knows what normal boring Dragapult is, so I would say it's not S tier. Like, it's good. I think a lot of the good players might pick it up or keep not pick it up but stick with it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not S tier. Like, it's not the deck to beat, I don't think. It's the deck that can beat the deck to beat.
It's not very good.
So yeah, Dragapult. There's about 20 Dragapults on here, so we're not going to like run through this one too long. Right. This one, I'm going to let Lewis go with.
Hello.
Where are you putting this?
S tier. I think it's the best deck right now.
Right, so you've played this more than me, so I'll hand it over to you.
It's just too strong. You can win games without attacking. It's ridiculous. And then you can win games without attaching energy for turn, pretty much. It's just so stupid. And the amount of damage it does, the amount of damage you can spread, it's just so dumb. It's like you can move 90 off Grimsnell sometimes with 3 Monkey Dories in play.
How much HP is Grimsnell?
320.
So you can literally like take it out of 2-shot range.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It's so stupid.
It's crazy.
You're taking like 4.
We have cats.
We're taking like 3, 4, 5 prize card turns. It's just so stupid.
That's pretty bad.
And it has a bad matchup into Mewtwo, but that's about it because it's Bidops.
Yeah, mainly into grass. I think we'll dwell on that a little bit later with another deck, which I'll tell you about when we get to it. But I personally think Grimstone is probably the deck that's good. The deck to beat. It's going to be the like 40% of the meta kind of stupidity deck. But I weirdly think for that reason it's not going to win the tournament. Unfortunately, it's one of those because I think someone will find a broken counter to it. But Yeah, I quite like it. I think it deserves to be where it is. It's probably going to stay there on S tier as well. Yeah. Right, next deck, Ethan's Typhlosion.
D tier, worst deck I've ever seen.
So you're putting it there.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
I've played against it 3 times. So the cats are ruining my room.
Cats are ruining the room. So I've played this deck. I actually think it's quite good. I wouldn't put it in D tier.
I would.
I'd put it in B tier because it can hit really hard if the combos work quite. But it is a very heavy combo deck. Like if you misplay once, you lose. Like which is probably what's happened with Lewis.
Grimsnell just farts on it. But no, because you just miraculous something up and just snipe that whole bench for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing they can do.
Because they don't play Switch, I don't think.
I literally just wrecked it.
But like the only thing with this, because I played the version with Dracloak, so you just draw your entire deck, is you have to play Gravity Mountain to like nerf stage 2s, right? But even if you have all 4 in the discard, right? 4 because it's per Ethan, isn't it? So let's say you play Charizard, because I think Charizard's got the fattest HP, 330. Yeah? Well, of relevant stuff, right? So I played against Charizard and I set up like a god. I had all 4 Ethan in the discard and Gravity Mountains, which put Charizard to 300 HP.
Mm-hmm.
It only does 290. So it's still 10 damage short.
Yeah.
So you're still trading like 2 for 2. I think you could play Max Band or whatever it's called, the ace deck. Yeah. But because this is so little, you're only getting 1 attack. Like you probably want to put Vitality Band in it or something like that for it to make a difference. But I think the Ethan's deck could be good soon, just not yet, because everything here is too big for it. So for this tournament, I would put it in D tier. Yeah, but for meta, I would say it's a bit higher. But for this tournament, it's not good. It doesn't beat this at all. And I think Dragapult farms it as well. Yeah. What about this? I don't know why I put this in.
Yeah, why did you?
Should we put it here?
Yeah.
So Archaludon poisoned. I think just because it's in there because people do play it. People do play the poison, petulancy, donk, idiot deck. But it's just a deck that is played. There's a couple of % of people who kind of stick with it. It's a big tanky deck. But yeah, don't play its crap. You agree?
Yeah.
Zoroark EX. Maybe here?
Yeah.
So Zoroark's pretty good. I think, back to what you were saying about Grimmsnarl, Mewtwo might farm this deck. Even though it's like weak, Mewtwo is weak to it, the fact that they can go, the Spinops attaches to itself, so they can literally just put 4 Spinops in play. And it turns into a single prize you're dead deck. So maybe the Mewtwo deck is just better without Mewtwo. You just play like single prizes. That would actually be quite sick. Because the Spinops is 2 energy, so it just goes charging up, attach, smack. Okay. So yeah, this is a good deck. But I think also with what's the red thing called? Daramudon or whatever it's called. Darumaka, the big one. Darmanitan?
Yeah.
Well, Shaman's in play now, so they can't even do the snipe damage. So this gets nerfed quite a bit. I might actually put it here, thinking about it. So it's a cool deck. I think it's a very cool deck, and it's got the draw power and the stuff like that. But with the grass attackers coming into play and Shaman being a thing, I think this now becomes a 2-prize attacker, just a normal 2-prize attacker, and there's better 2-prize attackers in format, which we'll get to in a bit. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Right. Your favourite deck, Terrabox. Where would you put this for the tournament?
Probably the same as Zoroark, because it can't win games.
So it's above Zoroark, yeah?
No. Yeah, probably, because it can win.
But again, it's got a Shaman problem.
Yeah, but it can still.
But it has a bit more. So I think with the Terrabox, we're looking at this would be like normal Terrabox. So this would be the Wowspring with the Noctowl, and then it's just got, the Clefairy and plays the bear and all that sort of kind of it. Just they might add a grass attacker to it. Well, they have Ogerpon, don't they? So Ogerpon's pretty a good grass attacker. So I just think the deck's crap. I always have. I just don't think it's very good. So
I don't think it's as bad as those two, though.
You know, no. So this one, the controversial deck. We have two here because we just multi-image. So apologise. So let's go with Mewtwo. Right, you've been playing on the ladder quite a lot, and I haven't. What do you think about not necessarily the deck, but if you were going to NAIC, would you play this? Like, do you think it's a good play for this tournament?
Yeah.
Because of?
Yeah, I think the Spider was just...
So would you put this maybe A?
Yeah, I was going to put it in.
But below Dragapult.
Yeah.
Even though you lost earlier. But you were correct. So, but this can beat this as well. Because they have that, what's it called? Little Mimikyu. So I think the Mewtwo deck, like talking from the few games I've played, is the potential for it to be S tier is there, right?
Yeah.
And I think all you need is the right person to be, a bit like we just said, it's like, right, I need to play this Mewtwo deck when Mewtwo is the backup attacker. Because you've got the Spidops, you've got the Mimikyu. We saw a lot of them playing Sneasel. And then Mewtwo is either your starter or your finisher.
Yeah.
A bit like, we'll get to it soon, but like Raging Bolt here. So Raging Bolt's quite a powerful deck, but then they're using all the little single prizes now, like Mini Bolt and stuff like that.
The ball.
I think this is there. But I think if you can set up like against Grimmsnarl, let's say if you just go Spidops, and Articuno, you probably just win. Like, and then you just, like, if you need a Mewtwo later on to, like, knock out a Fez or something, you just win. So, this could even be S tier, you know? But I think here for now, because I think people are still working on, from what I've seen, people are playing it. Like, I don't know, it's difficult. It feels like one of those decks that at the moment, people are literally playing what cards are in their hand.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. They're like, oh, I have this supporter, so I'm just going to play it. Because so the plays aren't really, it's not techie enough yet. And I also think a lot of them should be playing Fez. And I know it's not a Rocket thing, but I think because there's the supporter, the redhead one that draws 8 cards. I think you can only play that if you only have Rocket Pokemon in play. I think I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I apologise. But I think people are looking into maybe playing Fez, cutting that supporter completely and just play Research. Because 7/8 is no different. So you play Fez, Research, and then you play the techie Rocket supporters. That might be a better version. That's what I would play anyway. Just because it gives you a few more outs and stuff. Right, so we'll skip this one. Right, what's that? So Ceruledge. D tier. Yeah? I just put it in there because people are playing it. It's quite a popular deck. But it's probably the better.
It does do a lot of damage.
Probably better. But I don't think this can beat this, or this. Because they've got too many options. Hey, mate, it hits the Spidops for weakness.
Is it a fire type?
Yeah.
Oh. S tier then.
So Ceruledge is just there because, right? Just whatever. So, go with Dragapult.
B tier.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not quite out there with them, but it's not rubbish.
So, I think Golden Go is in that format where it's one-shots anything. The Dreepy thing gives it good draw power. I would assume the Golden Go would now play Shaman because their Gimmighoul's only at 50 HP, so it might have a chance against this. But the problem with Golden Go versus the Grimmsnarl, does Grimmsnarl play Bunny as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you lose the Bunny Maractus because you just Maractus lock them. They use all their resources. Then the thing with Golden Go is if they want to blow up a Grimmsnarl, say, or a Dragapult or a Mewtwo, they have to do like 6 or 7 energy. So they have to use all their energy retrievals, or if they just bloody lock them out of the game and they can't do anything. So I think this deck is never liked this deck, but I think it's all right. But BT is, yeah, solid. What about normal Golden Go with like no text, like straight Golden Go?
It's the D tier, I think.
You say you need the extra text, yeah? Yeah, so normal, like basically quad Golden Go with like fairs and stuff like that. Whereas this one has like
some options.
Basically Dragapult and might play the bear.
Yeah.
This is just like quad Golden Go, like theme deck, yeah. Right, Flareon. So this is Flareon now. So this is what I wanted to talk about. This is Flareon with the Terra box with Angel Light and Leafeon. Because people might put Leafeon in. So imagine it's got Leafeon in it. Where would you put this deck? I think this deck is notoriously impossible to play.
Yeah.
So you've got to be really good. Maybe B?
Yeah, bottom of B.
Above? No, here? So we're saying this is solidly if they put Leafeon in it for these matchups.
No, for
this. For this, because that's weak to dark, isn't it?
Yeah, he's psychic.
Yeah, I keep thinking they're both dark type, but he's weak to dark, yeah. So, yeah, for this, because a lot of them are attacking in grass attackers for... But I think the problem with the Flareon deck is it's really, really good. It's just really hard to play. And the average player won't play it, which means obviously better people will play it. But if more average people are playing better decks, then they could still beat someone who's better playing a better deck. If that makes sense. You know what I mean by that? Yeah. Like, you're just kind of in that, like...
I know what you mean.
It's just the... Like, I don't know, Flareon's like Pidgeot Control. It's that kind of deck where you're just like headache deck.
Yeah.
And you might only have 3 or 4 good players playing it in a tournament of like, I think there's like 4,000 people at NAIC, which is insane. So I think this has got potential if it hits the right run. And then it could probably steamroll everything because it has answers for everything. Right, this one is here. The reason the Ghost is S tier, and I know you hate the Ghosts, right?
I know you do.
I do, right? But I think the Ghosts are the only way you can outpace Grimmsnarl. And the only way you can outpace Mewtwo. Because you just Dusclops their mini stuff and then attack. So this plays Articuno. So you can't attack their Mimikyu or their Articuno or anything. This gets through it. So you literally ghost their Articuno, and then you can go smack, knockout. So you can take 4 prizes in one turn. So I think if you're going to play Dragapult at NAIC, you have to play the Dusclops version because it gives you more outs. The same with this. Like, play this one, you'd have to play it with Howlucha as well because Impidim's got, I think, 70 HP. So you'd have to go do this, do that. You know, you could do that, kill this, kill that. Like, you could literally board wipe.
Yeah.
Because Shaman's got 80 HP as well, so you need to do the extra.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make sense? Like, so I think the reason I think you should only play. I know I put this in A because basically it's just a good deck. But if you don't play the Ghosts, you won't make top cut unless you have a really lucky run. Because there's too many spread decks, there's too many counter decks, and I think with the Ghost, it makes Clefairy less viable. It makes Bravery Charm less viable. With people who like Bravery Charm their Clefairy, where the Ghost just nerfs that and then you just one-shot it. So does that make sense? Even though I hate it, I hate this version, but I think if you're going this weekend and you're not thinking about playing that, you shouldn't play any Dragapult at all.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Guardy has to be S tier as well. Probably above Dragapult. Right?
I was going to say B for this tournament.
Do you think? I think it can still win the whole tournament. Do you think just because it's weak to dark?
If it wasn't weak, if Guardy wasn't weak to dark, it's still an auto win for Grimmsnarl.
But they play Shaman though.
That's against. That doesn't make sense.
Why?
Because they put their damage onto their little guys. You can kill like 2 with Monkey. You can kill them with Monkey Dory and then attack next turn.
Not if they play it properly, though. Like, the best people play
And
Guardi.
someone tried to get around it, so I put 3 Monkey Dories into play.
But you can literally one-shot this guy with the Guardi deck.
Yeah.
You can item lock. I just think Guardi's good. Still think it's a good play.
I just think it auto loses to Grimslow like 75%.
Interesting. A lot of the Guardi decks now are playing. They're not playing like I would say counter attackers. They're still playing the similar lists, but some are playing Mew, which is good, which obviously copies, doesn't it? Right, and they're putting Drift Bloom back in. A lot of them took it out and they were just playing Double Scream Tail, but obviously Double Scream Tail with Shaman in format is kind of dumb. But I think Guardi's too good to put in B tier. It's still an S tier deck. So maybe then it goes there then.
I mean, the only reason I wouldn't put it
I think Guardi still beats
is
Dragapult.
because it beats Dragapult, yeah.
So this still beats this then.
Yeah.
But if Guardi's only loss is this, you can't put it in B tier because it literally beats everything apart from this.
Mm.
So it has to be the second best deck.
Mm. If you have a bad loss against Grimslow.
And I think you can still beat Grimslow with it.
Yeah.
It's whoever sets up quicker. And if Guardi can get you in the weird Guardi lock, and they're all playing TM Evo now as well, so they can outpace you. So
am I there.
Huh?
So am I.
They play TM Evo? Was it?
And TM Devo.
Yeah, Devo is a scary one. Like, that would be your better play. But I would put it here. I still think it's broken. Like, it's crazy. This one is controversial.
So it's so bad now.
So most people, and I'm not shitting you, right, are putting it here. Right?
It's actually...
So I've not put it there for now, but I'll give you the reasonings for the tournament, right? This deck one-shots all of these. Right? And it has all these different options and that, right? The reason, again, I don't think this deck should be up here. I think it's probably about here.
Mm-hmm.
Is, again, and I know I keep saying it, is Shaman.
It's a glass cannon, but HP isn't its issue.
But this strategy at the moment, if you've noticed people playing it, they're like, get mini bolt out, thingy to mini bolt, and then snipe like a Hutu on the bench. Well, you can't do that if someone's playing Shaman.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, again, this is going to have the same problem as this, is it now becomes a 2-price smacky deck, right? And it's in this category of, these are like the big 2-price smacky decks, not Flareon, but this is a smacky deck. This is a smacky deck.
They need to go back to playing like 3 or 4 Raging Bolts, not 2 or 3.
Yeah. And just go and put big charms on them and turn it like, I even think, and it sounds silly, going back to, because this is so popular, you cut the owls and you just go back to 4 Ogerpon, 4 Bolt, and you know the cleanness that with flippy catchers, like old school Bolt that people were playing like a year ago. You cut all the owls out of it, you cut all the shit, and you just go, right, I'm just going to knock you out in 3 turns. KO, 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 win. Like, I think if they play...
Oh, he's making an appearance. Yeah.
Oh, the cat's here, look. He's there.
Raging Bolt. Because if someone's raging...
I think if you're playing Techie Bolt, right, and you want to do all the Techie bench bollocks and all that shit, right? Like, all 3 of these decks basically do what this does better. They all have bench damage attacks.
They all do the same thing.
Da-da-da-da-da. So I would put it in B tier because I've always thought it was trash. So it's a no skill kill deck. Look. Right. Moon is here because it won the Bologna the other day. So I don't think it's very good. I think it should go here.
Yeah.
It's basically a dog deck. It's got the poison, petrant, dog shit. And Moon is just better dark attackers. I just think Moon was a gimmick for that tournament. So the only reason I put it in is because it won a tournament. And people probably like it. But
People do, don't they?
yeah. Right. So now I've got normal Flareon. Obviously I put the owl on this one. I've got a Flareon. This is without the tech stuff. So this is like they literally try to do the attack turn 1. So this one is probably like here.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's like quad Flareon or something, and they try and get Crispin evolved turn 1.
Yeah, it tries to do what Dragon Bolt's gimmick is, which is worse.
So it's just bad. Right, Charizard.
Unfortunately, it's not good.
I think Charizard's quite good.
I mean, yeah.
I would put it here.
I'd probably put it in the Smacky B tier list.
And the only reason, again, I'm going to go back to this broken record, is because this can now play Shaman, which stops Dragapult from farming it. But if people are playing Ghosts, what?
Is it its abilities as well, isn't it, Shaman?
Shaman just stops bench damage.
Yeah.
But stuff like Dragapult and this, right? They just had so much stuff for this.
Yeah, Dragapult can just...
Oh yeah, Dragapult goes for it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was more for if you let me finish.
What you said.
Dragapult used to farm this, right? Because they play the Ghosts, right? Yeah? So now Shaman's in format. A lot of decks that would snipe like this, right, have gone like backwards with like they're taking out stuff like Screamtail. This. So this Charizard is good into this now. It's good into this now, and it's good into this now. Because the Ghost was being taken out of decks.
Not good into Grimmsnarl.
Nothing.
No, there's only one reason that's not good. Is because you can make it so they're basically doing 180, and that's it. They never go up.
Because you don't take a prize.
Just don't take a prize.
Yeah, that's probably quite sick.
It's the only reason. If you don't play TMD though,
yeah,
it would be very strong. But TMD breaks these decks.
So what if you had Charizard with 4 Jamming Towers?
Then I would just...
Like, if this gets really good...
Then you just put your stadium and play the one turn you have.
The one turn, yeah.
Because you play Secret Box, if worse comes to worse.
I think Jamming Tower is probably a good at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think Charizard has...
Oh, yeah.
It has a potential to come back to where it used to be. Mm-hmm. But the reason, like... Saying about the Shaman stuff and all that, but the reason it used to get bodied is because Dragapult used to play the Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And Dragapult played the Ghost, so it could do stuff. But then, obviously, because the bench stuff stopped, that this one became popular, which means now Shaman's in. This actually is better against everything but the Ghost, if that makes sense. So I think the only deck that literally, fair enough, you just said about this one, but the only deck that would kill this before it sets up is the Ghosts, mm-hmm. because none of these have an ability to kill this because they can't snipe it, is what I was trying to say. Does that make sense? Which is why I think Charizard with Dusclops could make a comeback.
Yeah.
Because it's also one of those, I know, like you said, it only hits 180 for stuff, right? But it's notoriously hard to kill. It's tanky as hell, so that's why, right? I'll put this in just because I thought it's a cool deck. But it's probably bad, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Like that? Do you think it's worse than these?
No, nothing is. Actually, yeah, one thing is.
What?
Tick box.
Yeah. Oh, mate, people love that deck. So we just put hops there. This is the spread version without Archaludon. It's got the monkeys. It's got this, right? So the only reason this is this spread deck that does 30 to the active, well, it does 120 to the active if you get set up, and 30 to the bench with Monkey Dory. Does that sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Grimmsnarl does it better, basically. So unfortunately, this is the hero we thought we wanted, but this is probably Buzzwole reimagined, isn't it? Like, it sounds really silly, but we thought this would be the Buzzwole deck. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure this is with the monkey. Yeah. So stupid.
Hey, I wonder why I'm playing it.
Like, Jog Tip Box for the tournament is probably here. right? The deck's awful. It's trash, right? But every S tier deck can lose to this because of Iron Hands. If Iron Hands is faster and you have one brick turn, they just go hands, 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 and you lose. So that's why a lot of people are playing it, because they can just go Joltik, power up an Iron Hands, you're dead. Because Morgrim's got, 100 HP? Yeah? Drakloak's got 90 HP, and Curlier's got 80 HP, right? And every other one and Monkey's only got 110. So and it plays 4 boss, I swear it plays 4 boss.
Yes.
So they can just go, amp you very much, amp you very much, amp you very much.
Yeah, I suppose the other room, because all they play is Pokemon energy. And
then if you set up like a Guardy or a Thingy or a this, they have Pikachu. Pikachu just 300 damage. It can't be one shot. It's probably can be one shot with this because you've got monkey damage and stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's why the ghosts are quite good. But I think this is quite good, but probably the lower of the A tier decks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Charizard Dragapult, which is my favourite deck.
It's the last one as well.
Yeah.
Ignore the last Dragapult. So
this one is probably the best B tier deck.
Yeah.
Right. And the only reason it's not A tier, and it's not S tier, it could be S tier, but it's so it's not gimmicky. But the version I'm playing at the moment also has Dusclops in it. So I've cut the Rabsca and I've put Dusclops in it because again, for the same reasoning. But I think if you're going to play this, just play this because it just sets up better. But
Dusclops.
But this might be the best deck against this.
Yeah.
Because you can use your own Dusclops to power up your own Charizard.
Yeah, to be fair.
So Charizard Dragapult could be the only deck that can have a favourable match into Grimmsnarl. Because of that reason. Is the only thing.
Well.
But
let me just glaze TM Devo a little bit more.
The Devo's good, but if you outpace it, you're never getting to Devo. So
no.
It's that kind of thing. And I think if they're playing the worrying thing about the Grimmsnarl deck is if they're playing the Ghosts, the Dusclops, Frostlass is such a liability. Like, a really bad liability. So it's going to make the decks... Like, you're probably going to have to go single Frostlass, like triple Monkey Dory, and play the weird, like, basically what you should do in the mirror match. But if you ever play the mirror match for this, you don't put any Frostlass in play at all. And if your opponent puts Frostlass in play, they just lose. You literally play it like I hit you, I use all my... to play 4 monkey or 3. You play my 3 monkey, and if you've got a bench full of Frostlass, right, you don't have room for 3 monkeys. Mm-hmm. So you just go double Grimmsnarl, triple monkey, and you just win. Like, yeah. That's the best way for it. So yeah, anything there you would change.
Yeah. There we go.
Freeze Acian, yeah?
That's my comment.
Are you going to put him up here?
No. No, even still. Even still.
Even still he's down there.
Yeah.
But I think if you're looking at predictions for Top Cut.
This Top Cut.
That should be your Top Cut.
Top 4.
These should be like your Top Cut.
Right around.
Decks. But this still goes here, I think.
Yeah. We've obviously got to put what's it called? Ethan's Typhlosion.
So, how long have we been on?
Half an
hour, right? So, now we've done the tier list. Let's just do a few predictions, yeah? If you want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what deck do you think will win the tournament?
I don't know, but I think Monkey Dory will get banned after the tournament. Grimstar, I think, will win,
Yeah?
in my opinion.
Okay, so your prediction is Grimsmill. Yeah? My prediction is this. Dragon with ghosts. Yeah? What deck that isn't S tier, so you're not allowed to pick any of these three, will have the best run? Like, which, like, not S tier deck will have, like, the, like the hero run? Because there's always a hero deck, isn't there? Like, you see the last one with Toad Scroll. Like, is there anything there that will have a hero run, or will someone make something weird?
I reckon someone will do really well with something like Cerebral Edge or like an EX that hasn't really been played that does a lot of damage.
Like some weird calories.
I don't know if there's another like I'm thinking like Hydreigon. There we go.
Hydreigon.
I think someone will do good with Hydreigon.
Okay, even with Shaman. Yeah,
I think someone will do good.
Okay, so my weird prediction, let's say my weird
Hydreigon
is, I think a weird deck like a Rockets deck, but without Mewtwo. Like I said, the single prize, like the spider deck. So a similar deck with that would maybe like Crobat or something weird. So that it's basically a spread.
I don't know what Crobat does.
The old Crobat, the size with those.
Why did we not think of this? Someone's gonna play Weezing.
Weezing, yeah. So the Crobat is like when you evolve it, it does damage counters and stuff, and then the Crobat goes back. I think that could be good, but I think I'm going to go with Mewtwo, but someone's going to go on a run and say that the Mewtwo isn't the best part of the deck, if that makes sense. So a single prize Rocket deck would be my prediction for it. It might not even have Mewtwo in it at all. It could just have like Wobbuffet, Double Mimikyu, like a counter deck, like a weird counter box, Okay, so here's one for you then. Like I've seen this on other things, right? So you said about Monkey Dory, right? Now thinking about what's in every deck, right? How many Monkey Dories will be in Top Cut? What would be your guess? Then let's see who gets the closest to how many monkeys. Thinking what decks could be in Top Cut. Obviously, these three, maybe.
14, 15.
15, yeah? Okay. So this plays free. This plays free, I think.
Yeah.
This don't play any, but this does. No other deck does it? This maybe does. This does as well. You go 15. Okay, I'll go 16.
I went 15 because that's 3 and 5 decks.
Yeah, I'll go 16 then. So if it's below 15, you win. And if it's above 16 and above, I win. Yeah? Okay, cool. Let's do that. Because that's quite... And do what we used to do last year. And it's obviously outrageous because there's so many people. Pick someone to win.
I don't even know really.
So you can go as like obvious as possible, or go a little bit outside the box.
Is all even going?
Possibly, yeah.
Alright, if he's not streaming, then I'm going with Azul.
He said if he goes, he's playing Grimstar.
Yeah, I'm going with Azul then.
And I'll be really, really, really excited and go with Tord. Because I know Tord's been working on this. And I'm quite excited for this deck. I don't know why, because I don't like it, but... So it could be Azul versus Tord. Because basically those two have really good runs in. If Azul doesn't go, we'll give you like a
YouTube short of me saying that's that.
And so with that, with that, 15, 16 Monkey Dory, which just could get it banned. Winner of the tournament, this one or this one, mate, it's probably going to be this.
So why is it even this high up?
Because it's actually quite good. Okay. All right. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is
That is
the
our tier list.
NAIC tier list from the little bit of research we've done this morning. We haven't done too much. All right.
Maybe my research has just been that large.
So as you see, also before we leave, Lewis has been doing loads of gameplay videos. He's trying to get up to Arceus level for the first time, which you could laugh at, but he doesn't play very often. So the fact that he's actually back into it is really good. He's still learning the decks, so if you see the videos, bear with him. Constructive criticism is always good.
Yeah.
Trust me. I watch it and I'm like, oh. But he's clip mining, so we're good. That's what it's all about.
Clip farming, yeah.
That's what it's called, clip farming and aura farming or whatever you said it
Aura
was.
farming, in my opinion.
The guy's been weird.
Yeah.
And so there's that. And yeah, we'll just keep trying to keep up as much as possible. But I'm like really busy at work at the moment. So I might not be around as much, but he's home with his computer set up here. I'm not just sat in the kitchen on my phone like this, being a fool, trying to do stupid videos and stuff. So, but I'll keep putting shorts up like I do when I can find bits and bobs and stuff. And we'll just hopefully keep going from there. So support us as much as you can. It won't cost you anything. It could cost you if you want to give us money. That would be good. Yeah.
Slip us a $5.
How about if we predict correctly, we win and we just get 1 million subscribers? Yeah, cool. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, ring the little bell thing. We're also on the other social medias, which I've managed to collectively put it on. So we're on TikTok. It's under Coffin's Kingdom, like TCG. It's all the same. Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. We're on there. And Instagram as well. Is there any more? Was that it?
Yeah, YouTube.
And YouTube, which is what we're on right now. But we've already said that.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, and comment. Like, put in the comments what deck you think is going to win the tournament. One of us has to be correct.
I did one of my Dragon Ball video. It was not Pokemon related.
No?
So what are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this weekend?
What is your favourite pastry?
Yeah.
Question of the day.
I quite like the corned beef pasty or the bean, cheese, and sausage.
What's your favourite Greg's?
Yeah, from Greg's.
Mate,
yeah.
margarita pizza, mate.
Or I like vegan sausage rolls.
Or the normal sausage rolls, as long as they're not cold.
Yeah.
When they're cold, they're like...
Yeah, because then the grease gets
it's just like...
It becomes like a grease ball there.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Anyway, we're going
off
off the limit
on YouTubers, by the way.
So, like, subscribe, comment, help us out. We're going to try and get to 2,000 subscribers now, so we can keep going up and up and up. So, support. Let's go back onto here.
There we go.
We're back. I'm looking at the other screen because it's over here. I seriously need a haircut, but whatever.
Thanks so much for watching.
And we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.